the best MLS players that you guys could own to grind threshold week in and week out. That's what today's video is all about. It's going to be a little bit of a different style where you're not going to see my face, but you're still going to hear my voice. Let's get into the video. Let's start with the defenders. Marcelo Silva is first up, and as you can see by his L5, 15 and 40, he is a consistently good scorer and suits SO5 down to a T. Not only will he be a great contributor week in and week out for thresholds, but he will also give you a great upside, which we can see here from the higher scores including the 92. He's a great passer of the ball which builds up the AA. His current floor price is just 0.14. Next up is Rudy Camacho. He plays as a centre back for Montreal. Although there is slightly less dark green on his chart, you can still see that he consistently delivers good scores, along with the upside every now and then. He is currently joint second in the MLS for interceptions by a defender, and his floor price is 0.14. The last defender we're going to look at is Robin Jansen, and I may be being a touch biased here as I do own his super rare due to his consistency. It's the same story here with Robin in that he will always start when fit and regularly churns out scores that will help you achieve a threshold reward each week. He has a great goalkeeper behind him and regularly throws his body on the line for Orlando. His current floor price is just 0.1. Midfielders. This is another player I have in my gallery and a player that for some reason I just really like. Pedro Santos is 34 and was originally signed as a creative midfield player, but this year he's been playing left back. Apart from the last game where he missed a penalty, he is the definition of threshold. He is also the leading player in the MLS for tackles won this year. His current floor price is 0.16. The second midfielder I'm going to talk about is Darlington Nagbe, who also plays for Columbus Crew. As you can see, he has a fantastic upside with some massive scores this season. He also hasn't scored lower than 40 in his last 40, which again is exactly one of the reasons why he's made it to this list. The floor price is just 0.18. Lastly, we're going to take a look at Sean Davis, who plays for Nashville this season and floor price is 0.11. He is cheaper than the other two, but still offers good value, being a regular starter in a good side. He is new at Nashville this year, but immediately sealed his place in the starting lineup, and he is a fantastic interceptor of the ball. With an L40 of over 50, he isn't one to be overlooked. We now move on to the most difficult position, which is forwards. This is because you want a forward who doesn't really rely on decisives week in and week out, and this is hard to come by. First up is Justin Meram, who is a bit of a veteran and plays for Real Salt Lake. He is currently playing as a left midfielder this year and has some decent scores which doesn't always rely on decisives, which means that when he pairs them with decisives, he has a great upside. He also shares set pieces with Pablo Ruiz. His current floor price is 0.29. The next forward is Raheem Edwards, who again is a forward playing out of position, but this time in defence as a left back for LA Galaxy. His main strength is his dribbling, and his ability to get up and down the pitch is impressive. He again has a decent AA for a forward, and if Javier Hernandez can start firing, I expect a few crossing assists for Edwards, and you can pick him up for around 0.28. The last forward is a bit of a punt, but somebody I've been keeping my eye on in recent weeks. This is Ariel Laceta, who currently plays for Inter Miami. His graph is smaller than the others due to him just establishing himself in the side, but his AA is over 10 for his last 5, which is quite impressive considering that his floor is just 0.2. He is a player who likes to shoot, which always means goals could start racking up. So at this point you might be thinking, why am I not talking about goalkeepers here? Well, the reason for that is because there's still a few weeks where you can use common players in order to grind that threshold, but you are relying on 4 players to score 60 plus in order to get that threshold. That's the higher one, of course. Now, when you can't use common goalkeepers anymore, there's a couple of ways that you can play it. You could buy a goalkeeper that just doesn't play. Obviously, he's going to be cheap, but it is going to be harder for you to hit threshold week in and week out, and that's what this video is all about. I advise, if you can, stretch to buy a goalkeeper who plays. As this video is all about the MLS, for the purposes of this, I'm just going to pick the cheapest goalkeeper that's on the market that plays, and that's Tim Melia. Now, it's very rare that Tim gets clean sheets, But when he does, he obviously has a massive impact into your squad and you could potentially get some rewards in. If he doesn't and he gets around the 30 to 40 points, that's a massive help into your weekly threshold. Tim is a little bit risky because obviously he's a little bit older. However, for 0.3, I don't think you can really go wrong there. The better goalkeepers are obviously a higher price, which means that they're going to more likely get some clean sheets and good AAs. But for the purpose of this video, as we're talking about MLS players, we're going to stick Tim in goal, and I'm going to show you how the suggested players got on when we threw them all together in a few lineups. This is what they look like. Finally, thanks a lot guys for watching the video. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you want to see some more, hit that subscribe button. Comment down below if you're going to pick up any of these players or who the best threshold players that you've got from the MLS, and I will see you in the future.